Good morning. As the executive director, I would like to welcome you to the Major General Joseph P. Gentile Apartments. Gentile Apartments, as we affectionately call this complex, was built in 1978. Gentile has 7 floors and 102 units. The residents that live here are seniors and people with disabilities. I would like to thank all of you for coming out today in celebration and commemoration of this beautiful mural inspired by the legacy of Major General Joseph P. Gentile, for whom this building was named. I would like to introduce, to bring the welcome, the chair of our Board of Commissions, Chairman Tom Labonte.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Thomas Labonte, and I have the honor of serving as the chairman of the board of the Springfield Housing Authority. And I'm a proud veteran, having served the United States Army stations in South Korea. I would like to welcome everyone today as we commemorate this beautiful mural inspired by the likeness of Springfield's own Major General Joseph P. Gentile. I would like to get the program started today, and I would like to turn the program over to our executive director, Denise Jordan of the Springfield Housing Authority. She will serve as our mistress of ceremonies today. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce to you Britt Rue, the director of Commonwealth Murals, who founded this organization in 2019. Her mission is to create beloved murals that celebrate the hope, heroes, and histories of neighborhoods where art lives. Commonwealth Murals has engaged thousands of community members of all ages to create and install over 80 murals in the city of Springfield. I would like to thank Britt for reaching out to the Springfield Housing Authority. We actually started talking in 2020, and then the artist that was commissioned had an issue, so we had to put it on pause, and then COVID hit. But today we are here, and Britt's going to talk about the inspiration for our mural.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and hello to everyone. I'm sorry to have my back to you all. This beautiful mural was done by Lula Gose, a celebrated international artist and muralist from Galicia, Spain. It's called Courage and Commitment, and she drew on the inspiring life of Major General Joseph P. Gentile, to celebrate the courage required to make a lifelong commitment to the service of others. The mural is a testament to the importance of our community elders and their role in sharing life lessons, wisdom, and cultural heritage across generations. Each of the flowers in the mural symbolize different things that reference his life and that of the residents of this building and the neighborhood. The red poppy honors the service and sacrifice of our veterans. Because of its ability to bloom in a variety of climates, the narcissus symbolizes endurance and the strength to flourish despite challenges. The white lily is the national flower of Italy, and it also symbolizes hope, purity, and renewal. And the blue anemone symbolizes resilience and thrives in both Puerto Rico and Italy. And the vibrant red and white lines that you see in the mural are the colors in common in the American, Italian, and Puerto Rican flag. So for those of you here who stop by every day to share stories and words of encouragement with Lula, I have a special message to you from her. She says thank you from the bottom of her heart for all of your warmth, your support, your encouragement, your questions. It really gave her motivation when she was here working and made her feel at home even though she was far from home. So thank you to all of you who were there for her every day. I also want to give a special thank you to Miss Denise Jordan, really right behind me. She really exemplified courage and commitment in her stewardship of this mural, and her clear-eyed vision for what this mural could be was the North Star of this project. She has an amazing team that she works with, from the commissioners all the way down to building staff, some of whom are back there. Thank you, especially Keith. You really were wonderful to work with, and I hope I can work with you all again soon. I also want to thank the City of Springfield for funding this project through neighborhood ARPA funds, and for the city and our legislative delegation for all of the support that you've provided over the years for the murals we do across the city. And even though Lula worked, oh, and a shout out to Focus Springfield, who's here today, making all this possible, documenting this, and they documented and interviewed Lula and did drone footage. And so thank you very much for Focus for all of the work you do across the city. And Lula worked incredibly hard every day, but despite how hard she worked, she didn't quite do it alone. Mural making is a team sport. It's a team effort. And there are two key members of the Commonwealth Murals team here today, Self and Talisha. And if you guys can just stand up for a second, for all that you do, the midnight runs to find sushi and the paint runs and the runs to get gas and the help on the wall and the pretty much anything and everything you can think of, you made all this possible. So my eternal gratitude to you both. Thank you.
Because November is the month that we celebrate our veterans, and Major General Joseph Gentile was a decorated World War II officer, we felt today was the perfect day to commemorate this mural. To speak about the importance of honoring our veterans, I would like to call upon William Walls, chair of the Springfield Veterans Activity Committee. Calvin, thank you. And I would like to also recognize while we're here, all of the elected officials that have joined us. City Councilor LeVar Click Bruce, City Councilor Maria Perez. There's some others you're going to hear from in a minute. The Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Helen Carlton Harris. Bob Sweeney is here from the Springfield Vets Activity Committee. City Councilor Santinello right in my face. And we're also honored to have retired General Brigadier, is it Brigadier General? John Driscoll, commander of the Army National Guard, who is a Springfield native from Forest Park. So thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. And I'm Bill Walls again. Our veterans serve our country with the belief that democracy and freedom are ideals to be upheld around the world. Our veterans serve without hesitation, both in hostile as well as peaceful environments. Their service ensures that we, the citizens of the United States, are able to exercise all the freedoms that are outlined within the Constitution. The United States government, in honor of our veterans, has designated November 11th of each year as Veterans Day, a day that we corporately thank our veterans for their time, bravery, and sacrifices that they have made and continue to make for our country. I encourage all of you not to only observe this date, but to recognize and thank our veterans for their service each and every day. By doing so, we fulfill President Lincoln's promise to care for those who have served in our nation's military and to also care for their families, caregivers, and survivors. This mural of Major General Gentile will be on display each and every day and serve as a visual tribute to his lifetime of service, fulfilling the vision and promises of President Lincoln. Finally, I would like to thank all of our politicians and the citizenry of Massachusetts for making Massachusetts the #1 state in the union when it comes to caring for our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. I'm very proud of the efforts you've done as Executive Director of the Springfield Housing Authority, my former Chief of Staff, and the first African-American Black Chief of Staff ever in the city's history, Denise. So thank you for your continued work. The Chairman, Labonte, thank you for your leadership on the board. To Congressman Neal and my colleagues in government, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that the House might turn Democratic so we could call you Chairman Neal again, always delivering not only for his district and the state, but for the country. So we wish you continued success. Congratulations on your resounding victory, too. This was the original site of my old South End Community Center. And then the Gentile apartments were built, and with Rep. Tony Schiavelli was chair of Ways and Means on the state side, They took over the old armory there. I had people that have said to me, Denise, the last few days or last sort of week or 10 days, when they go by, what is that beautiful mural that we see off of 91? And I want to thank Britt Rule and Commonwealth Murals and Tim Sheehan, my Chief Development Officer. Anita Walker brought this concept to me a number of years ago as the first mayor in the Commonwealth. He said, we feel you could make this work and speak to the business community, others about vibrancy. And if you feel good, you want to spend money in the businesses. And we were told that you're out of your mind, Sarno. These murals are going to be vandalized. Not one of them has been vandalized because it has been a community input has been done on it. Each and every one reflects the neighborhood, the complex, the business, and it reflects the residents of the Gentile apartments. And we thank you for allowing us to do this. Now, I remember as a kid, and Brian will probably remember better than I do, and Richie and others, when Italian-American enclave here, still business, but the bakeries, the bread shops we had, 9 down here, and you would smell the aromas. And the same thing with Springfield Housing Authority, to make sure that each and every one of you have a place that you could put your head down on the pillow and be safe and sound and be able to live your lives with your families. So I think this is a great testament. We're going to continue to do these murals across the city. And to the veterans, Veterans Day is Monday. To the veterans, we always have to remember and never forget, America is still the greatest country in the world because of our veterans. Because of their efforts, we are the beacon of democracy, strength, hope, and opportunity. So when people go by East Columbus Avenue or 91 and they see that mural, they see the heart and soul of the city of Springfield. So to everyone involved, thank you. We're going to continue to fund these events. And again, to the Springfield Housing Authority and Executive Director Denise Jordan, everybody involved, Britt, hey, the whole crew, absolutely wonderful. And it warms your heart. It warms your heart. Good health and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Representing the heart of District A is our very own State Senator Adam Gomez. Adam Gomez, as you all know, is a former city councilor who ascended to the ranks of State Senate. He represents this neighborhood and specifically the residents of Gentile. State Senator Adam Gomez.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here to see another mural, especially a mural on Veterans Day that coming from a veteran's home, a veteran's family, my grandparents, my father, my brother, my nephew, all served and our veterans. But just to see the beautification of our neighborhoods. I remember when I was a city councilor, I represented the district of Ward 1, which encompasses mostly the downtown area, when the Mural Festival started with Britt Rue. Britt Rue came to me with this idea, and obviously I tend to tell people that I was I guess a little bit more into the arts of the elements of hip hop, which DJing, murals, and I guess a little bit of off the cuff. These murals exemplify a lot of advocacy and also beautification in our neighborhoods, which is so very, very well, I guess, appreciated, because off of that mural festival that was spearheaded by the administration here in Springfield, thank you, Mayor Sarno, we've been able to see murals go up all over the city of Springfield, here in the south end, outside of Florentina, and then all the way down to the north end, all the way up to Mason Square, where we've just seen just the vibrancy that has come back to our neighborhoods, just to be able to, one, show love to our members of our community, but being able to beautify our brick and mortar with these exemplary pieces of art, because that's what they are. And I just want to take my hats off to just the collaboration, and that's why the state legislature continuously, year in, year out, supports Commonwealth Murals on these efforts, and that you have seen, because of what we spearheaded here in Springfield, that the region has took a little bit of sauce from Springfield, and you have been seeing these murals being put up all over in the different towns and cities across Western Mass. So Britt Rue, thank you. Congressman Meal, again, congratulations on a great win, and congratulations to the rest of my state delegation, because it takes a team, it takes a real team from the federal level down to our municipal government, and we're just looking forward to making sure that we're steadfast and we're protecting our residents when it comes to the future of our Commonwealth and our nation. Thank you so much.
Representing the House of Representatives, specifically the 10th Hampton District, which is this district, is State Representative Carlos Gonzalez. Representative Gonzalez is no stranger to Gentile Apartments, for he has had events here and has provided meals for our residents, so he's one of their favorites. Representative Carlos Gonzalez.
And thank you to Britt for your continued beautification of this city, but also inspiring others to do the same in other cities and towns. To the board of directors and the staff, thank you for making Springfield Housing Authority a great place for all our residents to live. To the mayor for leading the city, and obviously the congressman for providing such support and direction in this country, where we know that we'll need it more than ever in these periods of next 4 years. So thank you very much. And more importantly, I just want to say gracias a todos los residentes, all the residents here, Springfield Housing Authority residents across the state, pero muchas gracias a ustedes. Siempre un placer estar aquí con ustedes, y esto es un proyecto más para mejorar la calidad de vida aquí en la ciudad de Springfield, pero mayormente aquí donde viven los residentes. And Anna Andino lived here, so we all know Anna Andino, what she meant to all of us here. But again, they say that there's no greater way to lose yourself than in the service of others. That was Gandhi who said that. And when I look at this mural, I see General Gentile exemplifying that. And I see the young lady looking at her eyes, the eyes of hope, the eyes that when American people come to the United States of America, they have in their hearts and their minds to inspire, to dream, and to hope, and to fail, but to succeed. And that's a tribute to that, and also to the great men and women who have served in this country and provided the safety and the opportunity for us to be standing or sitting here in these places today without tragedy coming our way. So thank you to all the men and women who have served us. Thank you for those who have inspired these types of projects in the past, but also those who have committed to service of others. And lastly, as we were in Philadelphia not too long ago, I was telling our Denise Jordan that all the housing authorities have beautiful mural projects. So I extend my hand out to you and congratulate you for leading these efforts, because I think beautification is part of inspiring others to believe in themselves, but also inspiring them that their place is a blessed place to live in America and the United States. So thank you all on behalf of the State House of Representatives and all my colleagues in government. Thank you.
During this time, as we honor our veterans, we also honor those who stood by their side as they served our country. Bringing greetings from the Springfield City Council, I would like to call City Councilor Kateri Walsh, the widow of retired U.S. Marine Corps Captain Daniel M. Walsh III, to the podium. Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Denise, and thank you for remembering Danny. I know we're all looking forward to Veterans Day, but in our family, it's November 10th. The Marine Corps birthday. It's definitely an honor to be here representing the Springfield City Council, and I'm so glad to be joined by so many of my colleagues and all the other colleagues in government, but also, as Adam said, as a member of a military family. I want to congratulate everybody that worked together to make today's guidance and beautiful ceremony come together. And as we come together to honor our veterans and approach Veterans Day, I appreciate the comments that everybody has made. You know, those of us who have members of the family that go into the service, and John, you can speak to it, there are a lot of sacrifices you make, but one of them that I think everybody goes through, and probably Major Joseph Gentile's family went through, is you worry. You worry about what's going to happen to that member of your family as they serve our country. So I'm so pleased to be here today and congratulate everybody for making this awesome mural. I did not know the history of Gentile Apartments. I've been here many times, but to learn about Major General Joseph Gentile was truly inspiring. And in the mural, he looks like such a kind man. I know he was a warrior, but he looks so kind. And I think this mural, with its vibrant colors and its permanent home in our city's South End, will serve as a lasting reminder to everybody who sees it of the services and achievements of one of our own. As we approach Veterans Day on Monday, we reflect on the courage and commitment of all those who have served. Today we celebrate their dedication while also honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. To them and their families, we owe a profound debt of gratitude. The words of General MacArthur, duty, honor, courage, I think are particularly fitting today as we gather together. So to all the brave men and women who have served and fought to protect our freedoms, we extend our deepest thanks. Happy Veterans Day.
Our guest speaker for this morning is our own native son, Congressman Richard E. Neal, ranking member, Ways and Means Committee, and the Dean of Massachusetts and New England Congressional Delegation. Congressman Neal has served the 1st Congressional District with honor and distinction. He is accessible, visible, and never forgets to address the needs of his constituents. This past Tuesday, Congressman Neal was reelected to his 19th term in office. Please join me as I welcome our Congressman, Congressman Richard E. Neal.
Thanks, Denise Jordan, who does a great job for us every day, and a very complex responsibility of managing public housing. It's always a great challenge. And as I arrived here this morning, she informed me I was the guest speaker. I said, who's the guest speaker? She said, you. So thanks to all of you who have assembled here on the eve of Veterans Day. Our good mayor and members of the city council, Senator Gomez, Representative Gonzalez as well, as the residents of the Gentile apartments, and to all of you who are getting ready to acknowledge the Veterans Day across America and how important it is for family members to understand those contributions. But I thought what I would talk about as well, I want to congratulate Britt for her comments. And the reason I wanted to do that is it's pretty simple. You traced sort of the transition of the south end of Springfield from an Italian enclave where more citizens now are from Puerto Rico who live here. It's that notion that Shakespeare reminded us of, that cities are never finished. And we always need that new infusion of energy, excitement, risk takers. So I thought when we talk about Major General Joseph Gentile, whose commitment in the Pacific Theater during some of the most perilous moments of World War II, and then going on to become a Major General in the Air Guard across Massachusetts, is noteworthy of the great families that once lived here and the great families that now live here. I look at that highway and it changed the South End. When the highway was constructed, this was loaded with restaurants and barbershops and the Italian skill of the artisans that they brought to this neighborhood, to the city, and to our country. If you came here, as I did as a really young man, Emerson White was the kind of the meeting place for these Italian families. And they produced a few good football players, Nick Bonaccani, Joe Schiavelli, Angelo Bertelli, and the other part of it, for somebody who understood urban politics, as I tried very hard to do, it seemed as though half the people in the South End were named Santinello or Schiavelli. And the Amalfi Coast was where they all came from. And you had to know that, because if you campaigned on Rutledge Avenue with the Florian family, or you campaigned anywhere here in the South End, these families were very loyal, as the families are today, from Puerto Rico, and how grateful we are. The other part of it, I think, that is significant, I worked at Mercolino's Bakery for 4 years after school at AIC. And the Bonaccani family, they not only lived on Margaret Street, but the name of the bakery was the Mercolinos. They lived on Margaret Street. 12 girls in one of these small houses. And again, everybody walked. I mean, there weren't cars. People just walked to the restaurants and they moved around as you do in urban America. So on this Veterans Day with Major General Gentile, and as Britt noted so eloquently, about how cities change. And we should welcome the change and understand there are always new challenges that come with change. But we honor the contributions of those who are here now, and we honor the contributions of those who were formerly here. Many of them moved to Agawam and to East Long Meadow. So I have a chance to see them at different ceremonies at the cemetery or on the 4th of July parade. I knew all those families. And I will just tell you that if you had Dolly Santinello or Margaret Liberti or Angie Florian, those names down here, I never lost because it was door to door. So I now am grateful to have the Gonzalez's and the Gomez's because that's part of the transformation that takes place. So on this Veterans Day, we want to thank our veterans, and we want to say thank you from the United States of America.
I would like to ask all of you to join me in front of the mural as we officially cut the ribbon and dedicate it. And we're going to give it a local name. So Britt and I just had a conversation, I think Monday, and we realized there was no name for the mural. So she reached out to the artist. So what I did is I reached out to one of our local artists. Some of you may know her, Professor Crystal Center Brown from Bay Path. And she, before I think maybe the day after this mural was completed, she posted it on her Instagram. And I said, that's our building. That's my building. And so I said, look at this mural and tell me what you see and what you think. Bless you. And she sent me a bunch of names back. And then Nicole and I assembled some of the staff from the Housing Authority. And that's where we got the name Courage and Commitment. And I think it really embodies and exemplifies everything about Major General Joe Gentile. He served his country, but he also served his community. He went on to become the Assistant Superintendent of the Department of Mental Health. So he just stayed active, and throughout his entire life, it was dedicated to serving people in a number of different aspects. Courage and Commitment is the name of our mural.
1, 2, 3. All right.